so we'll go ahead and get started. Good morning again, everyone. I'm Jane France, Marketing Manager for LedgeView Partners, and on behalf of our entire team, would like to welcome you to CRM To Go. What we're sharing today is very similar to what we presented at the CRM 2013 launch event in Chicago on October 24th, with some new information, including a more in-depth look at the CRM for Tablets app. We have a nice mix of current customers and prospects online, so I think everyone will take away plenty. Before I introduce our facilitator, Chad Collette, I want to mention a couple of brief housekeeping details. To enhance the audio quality, all attendees are in listen-only mode. Also, because we only have 45 minutes with you today, we will field questions as we go and invite you to type them in the panel on your screen. There are several people ready to field them, so depending on the nature of your question, we may reply to you directly, or Chad will pause periodically to see if there are questions that the group would benefit from. After the webinar, you'll receive a follow-up email from us that contains our contact information, as well as a link to a very brief survey to let us know how we did today. It'll just take a minute of your time to complete, and if you do, we will send you a Starbucks gift card. Without further ado, I'd like to introduce our product manager, Chad Collette. Chad has been working very closely with one of our internal developers to prepare the mobile platform for CRM 2013 and also build our own custom solution, which at this point is focused on our oil and gas product. He's not going to get too technical today, but if you do have technical questions, please feel free to ask them. Chad, take it away.
Thanks, Jane. Just want to start off real briefly to welcome everybody and hope you're having a great day so far. A little bit about LedgeView Partners is we're a gold certified partner focused on Microsoft Dynamics CRM, and got a number of recognitions. President's Club of the Year Award for excellence in sales and service, 5 years running this year. 2013 marked our Inner Circle Award that we received, which is awarded to the top 2% of partners. We've got the Online Partner of the Year, and a number of things, as well as all of our consultants are Microsoft CRM certified. So I know many of you are already very familiar with who LedgeView Partners are, but just kind of wanted to give you a very brief introduction on that. So, I'm very excited to be here today and talk about the new mobile options that Microsoft is providing to CRM users, with a special focus on the brand new CRM for Tablets native app that launched in October. And I know some people in attendance today were at our live event in Chicago, and I know we got some great feedback on the event, and I want to reassure you that during our webcast today, we will not be interrupted by a fire drill. And for those of you that were unable to attend our event in Chicago, yes, there really was a fire drill that occurred smack dab in the middle of my CRM presentation. But on the positive side, it provided everybody with another networking opportunity as we all gathered together down in the lobby. So it was a memorable experience for everyone, but hopefully there's no fire drills today. And we all know that mobile is everywhere, and it's become a crucial part of both our business and our personal lives. With the rise of mobile technology, we've really become a 24/7, really always connected society. There's an infographic that I found here that gives some great statistics on how the evolution and the availability of mobile devices, such as smartphones and tablets, and being online, is changing how we conduct business on a daily basis, and the expectations that are placed on us, not only by our customers but our own companies as well. There's a number of organizations, 84%, that have remote workers. LedgeView is one of those. We're spread across the entire country. Many companies are looking to deploy mobile applications. Obviously, there was a large number of interest in our webinar today, and that shows that CRM for tablets and mobile technology is really a hot topic. And you can see across this that really being connected, response times, how things have really changed from long ago. With the number of devices out there, set to outnumber the population of Earth by the end of this year, it's really come as no surprise that Microsoft has put an emphasis on being able to access CRM at any time from anywhere on any device. And I saw a statistic that by 2017, they are anticipating there'll be 10.3 billion mobile devices on the planet and just 7.6 billion people. So, you know, the days of being outnumbered by mobile are soon to be here. And you can see this little icon from Microsoft, this little quote, you know, that statistics say people carry more than 3 devices on average when they go on the road. And Dynamics CRM is built for the mobile world. And, you know, I was thinking about that driving home the other day, and, you know, I got my iPhone sitting in front of me, my iPad next to me, and my laptop in the bag. You know, and many times there's more devices. A lot of times many of us carry 2 cell phones, sometimes a personal and a business cell phone. So, you know, that 3 devices sometimes can really be, you know, the minimum. And as we said, you know, Microsoft has developed this technology, and it's really centered around the salesperson, you know, staying productive on the go. You know, Microsoft Dynamics CRM, initially for tablets, those are supported for Windows 8 tablets and also the iPad, and also the phone app that we're going to get into that is supported and activated for Windows phones, iPhones, and Android phones. And really the best part about all this is that each of these are included with each CRM license at no additional license fee, which, you know, in this day and age when people look for, you know, how much more they can get, it's really amazing that you get this at no additional charge. And having this mobile technology with CRM is really a competitive differentiator. You know, you've got a lot of mobile options to access CRM. It wasn't too long ago that there were no mobile options. You know, as we said, there's the CRM for Phones app that Microsoft had initially set on the roadmap to launch in their early 2014. And to our surprise, in fact, we found out the morning of our launch event in Chicago that they had early released it. So that's fantastic news for everybody to get that mobile app on there. You know, CRM for tablets, which we're going to talk about today, primarily set for the iPad and the Windows 8 tablets. It is scheduled on the roadmap for Android as well. I know there's a lot of Android technology out there, a lot of tablets, and that is on the roadmap for 2014. But if you do have an Android tablet, Windows 8 tablet, an iPad tablet, any tablet with a browser that's Safari, Chrome, etc., you know, you can access the CRM, the full version, you know, through your web browser as long as you have an internet connection. And we're going to show you just briefly that today. But, you know, there's a lot of hotspots out there. People are connected through 3G. So with these tablets, whether it's through the app or just the browser, great options out there for you. As well as the third-party mobile applications. I know there's a lot of people that are utilizing those apps such as Resco and CWR. Fantastic apps that keep you very productive. I know they've made enhancements based on CRM 2013, and you know, those are still, you know, great options for everybody. And then finally, our custom-developed mobile applications. You know, if your strategy, if your requirements are not met fully by the focus of the phone app, the tablet app, a third-party app, you know, maybe it's a focus on customer service. It could be a focus on marketing or field service. Any of those special things that you need to do to stay productive, you know, it could be an option for you to look at developing your own custom app for your organization. So, you know, just keeping that in mind, there's a lot of options to access mobile. You know, touching very briefly on the CRM for Phones app, you know, anytime, anywhere. You know, they put it out there for 2014, and to everyone's surprise, you know, it's out there and it's live, and I'm not sure how many people are currently utilizing it. You know, with our phones, you know, they are smaller. If you can only imagine trying to do all the full CRM capabilities on your small cell phone, although some cell phones are not that small anymore. You know, it could be difficult, but this does give you the option to really dig in, accessing and viewing your accounts, your contacts, your opportunities, being able to add and modify your contacts. You know, of course, make phone calls, which for a lot of us is one of the last things we do on our cell phones these days. And, you know, some limited offline and viewing capabilities for the Windows phone. But just knowing that, you know, having one of these phones, you're going to have an option to utilize these apps. And that can be downloaded right from your app store. All right, now the CRM for tablets. You know, with CRM for tablets, Microsoft wanted to ensure that your user experience was the same across all your tablet devices. I mean, no matter the device. And with the average user carrying 3 devices with them and accessing 4 on a daily basis, it's very possible these days to have a mix of Windows, Apple, and Android technology in your possession at any given time. And Microsoft really wanted to make sure that each user was provided with a consistent CRM for tablet experience every time as you may move across your devices. In terms of installing it, the tablet app on your iPads is available for download right through your Apple iStore or the Apple App Store. And if you have a Windows 8 tablet, such as a Surface, Pro, RT, a number of the other Windows 8-based tablets, you can go right to the Windows Marketplace and download it. Finding the app, downloading the app, and getting it logged in is less than a 2-minute process. So if you know how to download an app and log into your CRM account, you can be up and running really in no time. All right, so now, just real quick on here before we dig into the actual tablet app. So I'll talk about the deployments. If you're a CRM 2013 online user, and I know some of you have upgraded already. Some are in the process, and you're very excited about that. Simply logging in, it's supported with both your Office 365 and your Live ID authentication. If you're an on-premise utilizer, it's going to require an IFD. But in terms of like your iOS, your iPad users, you just want to make sure you're running, at least iOS 6 and above. I know I'm always, as soon as that update's out there, no matter the risk, I'm going to go ahead and update. So working great. Also, the devices that are supported, it's really the iPad's 3rd generation and above. Although we've tested it on several iPad 2s here at LedgeView, and we got people that are, it's working great for them. We've tested it on the iPad minis. It's working great. The only iPad that we've run into any issues with is the 1st generation iPads, and not sure how many of those are still out there. But if you're looking to upgrade, a lot of great deals with the new Airs coming out. So, and then obviously with the Windows 8 Surface devices. So, now what I'd like to do is switch over and move into our application. So let's move over here. And all right, now everybody should be seeing my iPad with our home screen, which is titled Sales Dashboard. Now we talked about the same user experience. Obviously, with devices, there is going to be a little bit of difference. I've got an iPad here that we're going to do the demonstration on today. If you're operating a Windows 8, say a Surface device, an RT, a Pro, those are a lot wider, just in nature. So right here, you can see, 2, almost 3 full columns in your view. Essentially, with a Surface device, you're going to get 1 extra column in that initial view. But right here, you can see we can scroll in your CRM system. You're used to kind of going, north to south, moving around. Everything here is in a panoramic view and runs east to west. So you can continue to scroll and see everything that's on there. So the home page that appears in CRM for tablets displays a combination of views. They're called simple views, simple lists, and charts. The views, charts, and the order they're displayed on the home page are based on a dashboard named Sales Dashboard, as you can see. This is a new system dashboard created specifically for CRM for tablets and with the salesperson in mind, with the default dashboard experience tailored to those salespeople. But your administrator can customize this dashboard through the web application the same way they would customize any other system dashboard. Just keep in mind that the dashboard views set by the admin will be the same for all the users across the company. So as these simple lists are created, whether you're a marketing function, a sales, a service-oriented function, if you're utilizing the CRM for tablets, all these default views and the naming are going to be the same across the company for right now. So instead of Sales Dashboard, if I wanted to go ahead and name this LedgeView Partners, I could definitely go ahead and do that. The Sales Dashboard, right out of the box, contains a total of 6 components, and it's a mix of 4 lists, simple lists as they're called, and 2 charts that are interactive and you can drill down right into. All right. In addition, with that navigation, up in the upper right, left-hand corner, there is another side navigation, and this will display all of your entities. As long as you have your entities enabled for CRM for tablets, which you can do within your web client, they will appear here, including any custom entities. So you can see on there near the bottom we have sample request. That is a custom entity that we created that appears here. Right next to that list is a little house, and that'll always take you back home. Home to sales on the sales dashboard. All right. In addition, down below, there's one more difference between an iPad and a Windows 8 device. Now, to access it on a Windows 8 device, you would simply swipe up. So if I do that here, on my iPad, that launches with iOS 7. That launches a new command for the, command bar for the iOS. So swiping up will, by default, it'll give you a command bar, but you can also there's 3 dots, if you can see those at the very bottom of your screen in a darker gray bar. By selecting that, that will also open up the command bar. From within here, within any of our screens, that command bar is accessible and gives you a variety of different options that you can accomplish. So from here, from our home screen, we can refresh our screen, and we can also create new records, new accounts, contacts, leads, etc. Anything that has a quick create form associated with it will show up on this list then as well. And we can always go back home, pulling that right back up. So what I want to do today is just kind of walk you through, some different features on here that I think will be really helpful to everybody. And, starting off with activities, whether you're in sales, service, marketing, it doesn't matter. We all have tasks, appointments, phone calls, everything that we do day in and day out. So this very first activities bar is a little bit different than the rest. You can see my activities here, and the first thing I want to point out are the icons. So these are all sorted. The default view, my company has selected that, that my activities show up. I like that the number 1 is I need to develop a Temecula Wine Association discount rate. That's a task. You see the little checkbox. I've got a couple phone calls to make. You see some things with dates in them. Those dates are locked in, so these ones that do not have dates do not have a date or a due date associated with those. Additionally, to the right, you'll see a little checkbox. That will allow you to go ahead and close out that task. So if you want to do that, what that'll do is, mark that checkbox. Oops, very touchy, so we're just going to go right back here. The touch experience first is fantastic, but it can get away from you. So as you can see, I touched that, and my Susanna Stubberod task has been marked as complete. You can also go in and mark that through your command bar. Just know that if you do happen to mark this complete on your Stream for Tablets app, I have not discovered a way to reverse that yet, so you would need to recreate your task, and just in case you accidentally mark that as closed. But one thing we can do here is if we want to change views, I know there's 6 views, and that's great, but it's not the view that I want to see. It's very easy to change that. All I need to do is hold on to that header, the title where it says My Activities, and it gives me my command bar pops up, and I can select a different view. And this will bring up all the different views that are associated to you, whether they're system views, personal views. So if I want to go ahead and look at what's going on today, I can see my today's activities just right there. So anything for November 20th pops up today. I can see everything I got going on. Now, I do want to note that these are not sticky. So they are to the device, but the second, whenever you navigate away from your main sales dashboard homepage, it will default back to My Activities. So if today's activities is something that you want to access on a daily basis and don't want to, go in and change that each time, there's a great feature that you can offer shortcuts, and it's called pinning a tile. So what we can do here is simply click on this, hold it down, and at the bottom where it says Pin to Dashboard in our command bar, we can do that. And all your pin tiles, all your shortcuts are going to be created right away in the beginning. You can also create a special a task itself instead of the whole view. So I got to go ahead and I got to meet Tony for a tour at South Coast Winery today. You can see we click on that, automatically pulls up the command bar. There's a number of things we can do, marking it complete, deleting it, assigning it to somebody else. If I want somebody else to go on the tour, since we're going to South Coast Winery, I think I'll take this with myself. I'm not going to reassign that. But I can pin that to the dashboard as well. When we're in there, by holding down on it, we can make it larger, those kind of things. As we move around, we can make sure we can, pin a number of things to the dashboard. It's really endless. We can pin and keep going up. So you can see now there's different colors based on those things. We can move them around. So if we want to put this one up there, we can pull it up. We can change the sizes as well. All right. So now, we want to go into today's activities. And by doing this, just tapping on it, we'll bring up our full list. That simple list just kind of gives you a quick snapshot of what you got going on. And you can go right into today's activities and see everything you've got going on. You can also sort by these. If I want to sort by priority, I can do that. By the start date. Looks like I've got, several things that are due today. Some of them are older. I can sort by the activity type just by clicking on those headers and watching those. In addition, if for some reason all your information is not visible, like you can see in the subject line here, I can't see everything that's in there. So just by going to my command bar, it gives me a lot of opportunities to create new tasks. Also, there's a More button down here, and I can go ahead and I can resize my columns. So if I want to go over and just kind of drag those out, I can do that. There we go. So I can see I've got a task to call it, regional manager back. If I want to just put that back, I can. Any of these will go and stay. So that's just another great user experience to be able to make sure that you see all that information as well. And back to our sales dashboard, which is, becoming our best friend. Moving on down the line, very easy to scroll. My open leads is next that we've got. Perhaps you don't utilize leads. That's something you don't have to have on the default view. With CRM 2013 comes a great feature that involves images. So if you have an image uploaded to a contact, an account, a lead, any of those are going to populate right into CRM for tablets. You can see we've got several images populated. Our marketing person who gets all these leads for us is very diligent about making sure these come in so we can put a face to a name. For Maria, you can see there's just a blue box, the blue lead box that comes up. So what we can do is move through, and just like this, if you want to change a view, you can definitely do that, by clicking on any of these plus items up above. Back on the activities, we can create a new phone call, task, or appointment. For leads, that plus, opportunities, and the plus, all those will create new leads, new opportunities. It's a very fast shortcut. A lot of times we're in between appointments, maybe just sitting and waiting to go into the dentist's office, who knows, and you want to pop in quickly, pop in an opportunity, pop in a new task. Great shortcut to be able to do those kind of things. So, we got a hot one right up here, Amy Firestone, looking for 500 wine barrels. So we can take this right in, right away on leads, accounts, and contact. It's going to give you some great pin tiles as shortcuts right there. We can move through the lead. You'll see all the information there that we need. There's the qualifying stage. At the very top, you'll notice the new business process that comes with CRM 2013. We're going to get into that a little bit more as we move into the opportunities, but you can see right now on flags still the qualify stage. I have not reached out to Amy Firestone to kind of see what she's, how serious this is. But as I said, east to west, you can continuously to scroll, and all these fields that you have added, you can just keep moving them along, putting in your notes, your activities. I know I want to contact Amy later, so as always, you can go to that command bar at the bottom. You can pin it to the dashboard, right there. So it's easy. I know I got to call her later. She's out in California. I'm in Wisconsin. She's probably just getting to work, so I'm going to give her a little bit of time to kind of get going. All right, so we can always go right back to our sales dashboard, and as we pull this up, it's going to show my pin tiles, and you can see that Amy is now down there, the 500 wine barrels, and as we make that larger, it shows a little bit more information. Obviously, the greater area you have, the more you can contain there. Our open opportunities, the simple list. This, once again, I can change anything I want to look at. I can pull up in a full view, look at all those. I can see all the missing information. You know, if I want to go through and I want to look at my open opportunities, oops, bring that up, hold that down, select a view. You can see right here where there's options for personal views that have been created. You know, it's where the ones that are just hot. So that shows the options you have in there. You know, if I want to look at all my opportunities past my close date, bring those up. Gives me a great simple list that I can go ahead and scroll through, but just a snapshot of those. Once again, drilling in, it shows me all my opportunities that are past close dates. So one, not only these past close dates, so I got some work to do, I got some updates to make, some phone calls to make. This really gives me a great snapshot of all the information that's missing as well. Looks like I got a lot of contacts to fill in, I've got some emails to fill in as well. Now with the charts that we're going to get into, you will notice there's no chart that appears on the screen. By pulling up these full lists through the simple list, you're not able to access any charts at this time. You're not able to do a one-click, you know, show chart as you can do, you know, in other web applications. So really, you want to make sure when you do your default views on your sales dashboard that you do have opportunities or charts available there. So we can move down here, and you'll see that I've got all my open opportunities, but I have it two ways. So I've got it just as a simple list to show me a snapshot, and then I've got it as a really nice, colorful funnel that goes in. So you can see right here, moving on down, that we've got the sales pipeline, and these are interactive charts. So if I want to just click into the full chart, I can go right in, and that pops that chart right in. Move it up. There we go. And it shows me everything that's on that list. You can continue to scroll north to south. You can also move, you know, left to right, east to west, or west to east, and do those. Now you can drill down into these as well. If I want to take a look at the bottom of my funnel and just look at those opportunities, I can just take a look at those. And you see it puts a little black bar around the section that is showing the data related to that. As we move through, we can go right up the funnel and take a look at exactly what we have going on. You know, very top of the funnel, I've got one opportunity for some tri-pole corkscrews right there. So, you know, if the funnel chart isn't you know, what you really want to take a look at, you know, from a user experience, the command bar is your new best friend down there. So bringing that up, you can go in and say, you know what, I don't really want to look at this funnel. I'd love to look at it, you know, slice and dice it a different way. As you can see, there's user charts, there's system charts, and a number of ways that you can look at this. So as many as you have listed, you can continue to look at those. You know, if I want to take a look at those by opportunity, by campaigns, you can see here that we got a brand new great bar chart that just kind of populated up. Very interactive, just like the funnel chart. These all are where you can really dig in. So, you know, I know my marketing manager's been doing a fantastic job, you know, and I can go right in here, direct marketing. Once again, puts that black border around it so you know exactly what you're looking at. And I can see that I've got 4 great opportunities right here from our direct marketing. You know, I can go up and see I got a couple from our customer loyalty program. Absolutely. All right, back to our sales dashboard, and you know, one thing to kind of point out, if you can notice it, remember how I had switched, you know, our first one to today's activities. Notice how that bounced back to my activities there. So anytime you change those, as I said, you know, just make sure that, you know, if you're going to access them, you know, on a regular basis, it's a great idea to just pop in and create a tile. If you're on a Windows 8, like a Surface device, there's also an option to pin it to your Start menu, and that is exclusive to the Windows 8 device. So instead of going right into CRM, Sales Dashboard, and then moving in, you can create those pin tiles with their shortcuts right from your main Start menu within the Windows 8 environment. Very handy as you're accessing all that information. So you can see here, you know, more charts, more accounts. We've got, you know, if there are logos associated with those accounts, they're going to go ahead and those are going to populate up, you know, and any number of those you want to take a look at. So we're going to pull up, our new lead, Amy Firestone. She did send me an email saying that, hey, I definitely want to get a quote for these wine barrels. So from here, it is very easy to qualify this lead. Moving on through command bar, you can pull it right up. You can see the qualified stages right in the middle there. If you've got additional information that you need to fill in ahead of time, you can go ahead and do that. Otherwise, at the bottom here, you can open at the browser. We can go ahead and we can unpin this from our dashboard if we're no longer going to need it there. And then now you can see we unpinned it, so now it changed the pin. We can disqualify it or we can qualify it. We can switch processes. If I want to assign this to someone else, all that is right there in the command bar for you to do. So very user-friendly. So we can go ahead and just go ahead and qualify this lead. And you can see it working here. Now the great thing it's going to do, just like if you're in your web application for CRM, is it's going to go ahead and it's going to create that account. It's going to go ahead and create Amy Firestone as a contact, and it's going to create an active opportunity for you. And it's going to take you right to that opportunity so you can go ahead and update your information as you need to. So you'll see here we've got more screens, within our opportunity screen. At the very top, business process. This matches up with how it works in your CRM, like your web client environment. As we move through all the information, you can see the little flag up there. There's a green flag in a circle, or white flag in a green circle, teal actually. That's now moved to the develop stage. So not only does the stage light up, it brings a little flag to keep you, make it very clear on where you move to. So there's a couple of navigation differences though. Flag labeled next stage appears that you can tap and move it to the next stage. So that's how we're going to advance it. So I can enter my information here. If I want to just mark everything as complete and I want to move it to the proposed stage, we can definitely do that. So just by clicking on that next stage circle, you can see that that's now advanced our opportunity to the proposed stage. But what if I did that by accident? Well, I was messing around on here and I didn't mean to do that. Well, I don't see a backstage. Initially when I saw this, I'm like, oh, that's fantastic. They only want you to move it forward. But in real life, we all know that sometimes opportunities do move backwards. So, at those times what we can do is we can simply go down to our new best friend, the command bar, and we can move it back, So what we want to do first is click on the proposed stage to really focus on that quality. We can switch processes or we can go back a stage. Now you'll notice that we are right back to the develop stage. Put it right back to the proposed stage. With here, you can open all activities, notes, any stakeholders, if you have other members of your sales team, competitors you're going up against, all the features you have in the Salesforce web client, you can get those right here. You can see from some, lock boxes, some things are locked and unable to be edited. But the plus buttons allow you to create things on the fly, doing it very quickly. So, we can do here, create a new note. We want to make sure we get a quote out. So we just do that. If we want to create a new task, very easy, pops up a task we can create. If we want to put a note, if you're out there and you want to take a, put in a note if you want to add an attachment to here. They're looking at wine barrels, so we can make sure we put one in there. And, we'll just type in wine barrel, and we're going to go ahead and save that. And then that picture is associated right there. Now, you can upload pictures to notes as an attachment, but you cannot upload, say, a photograph of, say, Amy Firestone to her contact. That still does need to be done in the other application. All right. So going back to our thing, there's one, and this is really one of the favorite features, is our what we call our global search. At the very upper right, you can see the little glass up there that you can search for. So one of the great features available in CRM for tablets is the ability to execute a quick find query across multiple entities at once. Quick Find is a core feature of Dynamics CRM that's been available since version 1.0. In the web application in CRM for Outlook, you're currently able to search against one entity at a time. But the ability to search across multiple entities is new with CRM 2013, but only available within CRM for tablets. So I know it's something that everyone has been hungry for, and we wish it was in the full version as well. But for right now, this is simply something for CRM for tablets. So when you perform a multi-entity quick find or global search results, they're grouped by that entity. So you can see we have filters here. So you can, whatever it starts with. So whatever your contact, your lead, your account, that opportunity, you got to punch in at least 3 letters to search for that, and you can filter it down to that entity, or you can just kind of do a global search across there. So if we want to do one for, let's say, wine, let's take a look and see what we got going on there. It's not going to pull anything up. Well, we also know that, given because we're experienced CRM users, we got that little wildcard that we can do. We can punch that in. By popping that up, we see we've got several accounts, contacts, opportunities, activities that are all associated with the word wine. We can take that down, drill down just to our accounts. Do that. There, only shows up wine. So if it's a very general search, we can pull that up. If I'm going to look for, let's say, South Coast wine, I need to just pull up SOU, and there it is, South Coast Winery. If I want to see everything that's associated with that, we can go right ahead, and we can see South Coast Winery. We got a couple of contacts, etc. So, I see Thomas Anderson is on there, and that definitely reminds me I need to give him a call later. So even from the search bar, I can click on Thomas Anderson, hold him down, pin him to my contacts. It's a great shortcut as you're moving through the app, and spark flies saying, "Oh, that's right, I got to get that done today," or "I got to get that done later." Very easy to set yourself those reminders to accomplish those tasks, to call those people, and then easily unpin them from your dashboard to check them off your to-do list. So we can go into South Coast Winery here. And you can see here there's a multiple of the different relationships. Jim Glenn is the main contact. Right away, if there's additional pins, you can expand that. That works the same way in your sales dashboard. So if you've got more than, that first kind of column look, you can have as many of those pin tiles as possible, and you can just keep expanding those down. So it's a great way to have a lot of those shortcuts for you right there. Moving through, you can see the summary, the activities, all of our contacts, all of our cases, everything you're looking for. As I mentioned, the web browser, if there's something you want to accomplish or look at in your CRM for tablets and you're also connected to the internet, you can also feel free to go ahead and just open that right up in your browser from your command bar. And that'll bring you right back up. And of course, it shows me my, they're very helpful about making sure you understand CRM. No thanks. And you can see here, brings right up my web client. It knows that I have the application installed. You can see that right at the top where it says, open that. And if you didn't, it would suggest that you go ahead and download that. So it knows exactly whether you have it installed. They want to make sure that you're, utilizing all the tools full as possible. As we pop out of the web browser, right back into our CRM, it remembers exactly where we left off, right back into our account screen. If you look at this contact, Jim Glenn, 2 great things you can do right here from these contact cards, which they're calling communication cards. You got his phone number right there, so if you want to just pick up the phone and dial, you see the little email folder, the little icon there. So whatever your default email application on your tablet device is, you can go ahead and email them directly just by clicking that button. And also it's got enabled for Skype. So if you're a Skype user, you can go ahead and make that phone call. We click that right back up. Oops, right back in here. And that'll take you right to your Skype. And then what it does here, you can get out of that, right back into CRM. And the great thing that it does is once you place that phone call, is it brings an activity up right for you. It knows you made a phone call, so you can go right in here. You know, I made that today. You know, I'm 11:20. Yep, that looks great. You know, subject. You know, here's what we talked about, and you can create those calls. So what we can do here is just punch that in, and you know, left, you know, VM, and we can go ahead and we can just, you know, save that right up, and that's going to go to South Coast Wineries and Jim's record as well. All right, how are we doing? Oh, getting touched on time here. So, you know, just a couple of things that I want to talk about as well. Autosave versus manual save is a brand new feature in CRM 2013. You know, and records are saved in CRM for tablets based on how your admin configures your autosave in your organizational settings. So if autosave is enabled for your organization, which is the default, changes you made within your CRM for tablets app will be saved when you leave the form or immediately. You know, if autosave is disabled, then you'd have to use the command bar in order to save your information, but it also will prompt you if you try to move away without saving. You notice we didn't see a save feature because, you know, for my environment here, I have autosave turned on. So what I want to do too is I want to head back to our PowerPoint to talk about the offline functionality. I'd love to be able to show you this in a live demo, but once I disconnect, it's going to disconnect my air server as well. So that's going to show that. You know, all right. CRM for tablets does have limited offline capabilities, and we know we're not always connected, and Microsoft has, you know, put that into place here. The application caches records and lists that you have recently accessed within the application. So the next time you open it and retrieve the data from the cache, if it's available, it will show you a timestamp at the very bottom to let you know when the data is from. The CRM for Tablets app uses internal logic to determine which records to maintain in the cache. It's not going to, you know, cache or download everything, and there's not a background sync process like CRM for Outlook. This is different than CRM for Outlook. I want to make that very clear. And doesn't have the ability to define filters that controls which records will be available when you're not connected. So from a user standpoint, you know, it's your last visited. So it makes sure it populates the simple lists and records as well as any records that are pinned to your sales dashboard, those shortcuts. And, you know, the data that's cached in the columns necessary to display those lists and tiles. Now, lists and tiles, not charts. So if you have a chart that's in there, those are going to have, you know, those will not be available in offline. So the records you cache are based on what you access in the CRM for Tablets app and not what you access in the web application. So if you're in the web application and you go to, you know, the South Coast Winery, you go to, you know, a couple leads, and those aren't going to cache on your tablet device. It's very device specific. So even if you're caching on a Windows app, you know, a Windows tablet versus an iPad tablet, you want to make sure that you're going to that. When the CRM for tablets cannot connect, you know, you can still access the data. But I do want to let you know that the data is read-only, and you'll be unable to create any new records until you reconnect. It does a very good job of showing you that you're offline. On the left of the screen, it'll show you a little box that pops up that lets you know you're offline. And then as soon as you're able to reconnect again, there'll be an indicator that you can just click a button that says reconnect, and it'll take you back to where you left off. You know, we all know internet signals drop frequently, you know, depending where we're at. You know, it's happened to me many times, thankfully not during our time today, but, you know, reconnecting is very simple. If there's any downloads that need to happen during that time too, it'll prompt you, but it's very quick behind the scenes and takes you right where you left off. You know, for any of you that are on-premise subscribers and using CRM for tablets, when you lose your internet connection, you can continue to use your CRM for tablets, but as soon as you navigate away from that app, you're not going to be able to re-enter until you do have that connection back up. So, you know, one other thing that I think is important to mention is in regards to security. The CRM for Tablets app does not include a feature to remotely wipe the data from the device, but the app does require that you log in quite frequently when logged out. So while you can't wipe it remotely, there is a very short time window if you're logged out or the device is turned off that will require you to simply log in again. So, that kind of wraps up our demonstration for CRM for tablets, and I hope you're as excited about it as we are. As I mentioned at the start of the webcast, if you have requirements that go beyond the capabilities of CRM for tablets, the phone apps or third-party products, one option to explore is a custom-built app that suits your needs. At LedgeView, we're in the process of developing an iPad app for our customers to utilize our oil and gas products. While there's a lot of other great products out there, we wanted an app that really has enhanced offline capabilities and the access to critical data like order history and quotes. Two of those things that you're not able to access in the CRM for Tablets app. As well as our territory management and mapping, tools that we have in there. With CRM having so many capabilities these days and utilized in so many ways, a custom app may fit into your mobile strategy. So it's just something to think about if you have those unique requirements. So kind of before we close out, I want to offer you a great resource on CRM for tablets. Besides your account rep at LedgeView, of course, they're always available to answer questions and help you out. And on YouTube, Microsoft has begun to create some fantastic videos that really walk you through everything from installing the app to troubleshooting. You can see it talks about simple lists. There's about 70 to 75 minutes worth of videos here that you can watch in short increments. And Microsoft is doing a really good job of continuously putting more information out there. So, Jane, I think that's all I have today, and I know I kind of went a couple minutes over, but I'm going to go ahead and turn that back over to you.
Okay, thanks, Chad. Great job. Before we sign off, I want to mention that today's session was recorded, and we'll include a link to it in our follow-up email in case you want to share it with a coworker or look at it again yourself. We really appreciate you joining us today. Hope it was worthwhile, and look forward to helping you take CRM wherever you go. Have a wonderful day.